Well, welcome everybody to GiveSendGo Spotlight TV. Today, we get to spotlight an amazing situation, and we wanted to bring it to your attention. So we have Drew Berquist with us this morning, who has a campaign on GiveSendGo. He's here to tell you a little bit about his campaign and what we have going on. If you want to, hop on to GiveSendGo.com and look at his campaign. The campaign link is GiveSendGo.com/Shafi, and he'll tell you a little bit about that. But why don't we just begin, Drew, with who you are and what you're doing here on GiveSendGo Spotlight right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for doing this, Jacob. It's great to be here with you. So I'm a former counterterrorism officer. I've worked most of my adult life in the intelligence community doing a whole host of operations against extremists, basically, mostly in the paramilitary space, going after these guys. And I spent a great portion of that away, over 30 deployments to Afghanistan, a bunch to Iraq after that to go after ISIS when they popped up. And that was the life I lived. And we had, obviously, as many of you might know, and others could imagine, just outstanding camaraderie, great missions. We loved it, loved what we were doing. And a huge component of that was the local partners that we trained and worked with. And in the case of many of them, served as our kind of cultural advisors and interpreters. So that was a huge part of my life. And Shafi, who is the end user, the recipient, if you will, of this campaign, was a huge part of my life. Someone that I've known most, more than a lot of friends and people back here in the States, just because of the amount of time that we spent over there. So that's kind of how I got to know him, working overseas. And that's a little bit, I guess, about me without spending the whole time talking about myself.
Sure. So jumping right into it, how did you hear about GiveSendGo? So you've got this situation, you've got this interpreter, I guess, Shafi. He was the interpreter for you. And you're looking for a way, you need a fundraiser, you're doing something. How did you come across GiveSendGo in the process of that journey?
Yeah, well, so quick step back. Everything happened in Afghanistan, obviously, as the whole world knows, these past several weeks, and things have gotten very, very crazy, very dangerous. They've always been dangerous there, and particularly for our Afghan partners who worked with us, the Americans, and even more particularly those who worked with high-level specialized units, whether it's Special Operations Command or the agency where I spent a lot of my time. So the dangers have been increasing. It's also always been difficult to prove a paper trail because of the delicacy of what we do, who we are and who we aren't sometimes. We don't get to describe everything to the world. We just go do our job, go home, and then no one's the wiser. So we've always tried to do this, but Shafi lost it because of his high profile after he served as a translator with us, lost his family in a Taliban attack, in a vehicle-borne explosive device attack last year. Was actively being hunted in the last several weeks here. We, by the grace of God and some amazing help on the ground that I won't define, because we kind of made things happen, got him out of there, and that was the need for this. And then it was, okay, how do we do this? Like, I've never done this. I know I'm going to help him in as many ways as possible, but this guy's going to need some help. He's going to need some help, and Lord knows he's earned it. So I went originally and was looking at some of the different platforms, because as I told you, I just didn't know what to do. And people go to some of the ones that they've heard of over the years. I tried one, it didn't work elsewhere, whether they thought it was political or what have you. They denied it, then they allowed it, it was just back and forth. I was like, this is silly. Had heard about you guys and seen you guys growing, and then read more about it. Loved the faith component that you had. Loved that you guys focus on freedom and letting people, obviously within reason, right? But letting people run campaigns that make sense, and just knew it was the right fit. And we signed up, and I tell you what, between the folks on your platform, the folks that I know we're going to support him, and the audience from some of the digital media stuff that I do now, the outpour of support's been overwhelming. It's been amazing, and I love what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Well, we are so thankful to have you. I'm curious, this is one of the questions that I ask. Have you gotten a phone call from a team member here at GiveSendGo yet?
I haven't, or if I have, I missed it. I will
Okay.
tell you, I work in media, so my phone is on all the time, and there's, I don't know, this side point, but I hate all the like the notification buttons. I can't keep ahead of it. I always have numbers on all my different apps, so I've missed it if I have. But I definitely heard from email and had you
Okay.
guys reach out for this, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just been a great journey to be on with you guys.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we do, just to tie into what that was about, was this was one of our recent initiatives, a team that we built, which was to call every campaign owner and actually just engage with them, pray over their campaign, lift them up. And it's been an incredible, the moments that we've caught people in. Sometimes it just goes to voicemail and we leave them a great message. But what we saw was a country, many countries, GiveSendGo goes now in 40 countries around the world. But what we saw was people being driven into isolation because of COVID, separated from loved ones, separated from real community. And we said, man, what can we do as a platform? Because we talk about what we believe, we talk about the hope that we want to share, and you can do as much as you can do through a platform and trying to deliver some of that. But how can we take it a step further? So we put a team together and said, hey, we're going to call every campaign owner and we're just going to pray with them and we're going to like lift them up and what they're doing. So if you haven't got one, you probably will get one in the future, or somebody will that's connected with the campaign. It's just one of the things that we love doing. It breaks through that barrier. I think some people are just found in isolation right now, and for them to get a reach out from a startup or a tech platform type thing, they're just blown away, and it really lifts their spirits. And some of the campaigns, yours is I'd say as a difficult situation, it's a positive thing. He's over here now,
Right.
and things are moving forward. Where some campaigns, they're in a really desperate situation. And so to get a phone call from somebody that's saying, hey, we're thinking, we're praying about you, that means a lot. So tell us a little bit about what he's got going on right now. What's his situation? You guys are fundraising for him, trying to get him solid, this nearly $10,000 that you've raised already. It's going to help him get situated. I mean, what's the plan with that?
Yeah, so I mean, there's obviously so much that comes into it. When we got him out, he literally got out with the clothes he had on his back. So he's gone through several stages of processing because this is all very new. What's going on with the folks that were getting out of their refugees and what have you? Some of them SIV approved people, some of them who are in the process. So it's he's gone from the Middle East where they first took him on an installation to back here in the States in Dulles where a lot of the people are being processed in Virginia, and now he's at one of the bases here in the country where he's going through further processing. They're doing vaccination, medical checkups, making sure that they're healthy, kind of in line with kind of just our standard line of shots, if you will, and what have you. And then they start working on, to my understanding, again, this process is changing. I've talked to multiple different people on different bases. I've talked to multiple NGOs who are involved, and I get a slightly different answer, and you just kind of piece the puzzle together. It's like, all right, 80% is probably this. So, but he's working on getting paperwork, identifying their U.S. tie-in or family members if they have them, kind of where they want to be, and then the volunteers that are working with them help them get there. They give them some support, but depending on where they are in the process, they might get less. So most of them who are coming over, because of how fast and hasty this was, their paperwork wasn't done. So they don't get quite as much support. So it's helping them basically get their work permit and some of the other documentations that they need just to be here in the country while they work on other stuff. But then the kind of long journey is, okay, we need to get you clothes. We need to get you, a toothbrush, basic, toiletries. We need to, if they give you help with an apartment, we need to, get you some furniture and stuff for your apartment. We need to get you clothes, like all of this stuff. So there's just a lot. And as my wife and I have sat here and our team has sat here and said, okay, well, what do we think it's going to be? And it's this long list, and maybe it's that full list. Maybe the NGOs that have come alongside take away, part or half of that list. But we know there's a lot that he's going to need just to assimilate here. So that's been the main purpose behind this, whether it's driving ahead with the legal process of trying to get his SIV approved, just having clothes and what he needs. Because again, he left everything there. So
yeah, well, I mean, we want to do whatever we can, even beyond what you've done. Like I said earlier, we want to get this some even bigger traction, because we think, when people make the sacrifices like he's made, to see the American ideal and dream move forward at a very high risk, and it costs them a lot. We think that not only that he's worthy of that, but that there's many people that want to pour into that. And so we're excited about how we can help further this for him and for you guys and the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for stepping forward in this, as that's what it takes. It takes people that are willing to step up to the plate and get things done. And so we're thankful for you, Drew, and for the work that you've done, sacrificing so much of your life for the American dream and the ideals that we stand for. Once again, everybody, as you're watching this, you can tune in to GiveSendGo.com/Shafi, SHAFI, and you can read a little bit more about the story. You can give to that campaign. We can push this well beyond its goal. You can share about it with your friends and your family. And you can also send a message of prayer and support and hope to the team over there to help them continue in their journey as they walk this out with Shafi. Drew, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we end this?
No, I would just, first of all, thank everyone who has given, and to those of you who are watching and plan to give once you see the story. It means so much to someone who, like Jacob is saying, has given so much to us. I mean, these people, not only help us with our mission, but they help keep us alive in so many ways. And it's remarkable to, after all the years of talking about this, not the way that I wanted it to happen in terms of what's happened the last several weeks and how dangerous and harrowing it got in the very end. But to finally be here is amazing. So I'm just so encouraged by groups like this and individuals. It just shows, as we've almost hit our initial goal, and we want to go way past it, that this is what we do as believers. We take care of each other, and this is what we should do just as Americans too. You do the right thing, and it's been so encouraging to see that. So I just have to say thank you to everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you as well. GiveSendGo.com/Shafi. Check out the campaign. As always, continue to shine brightly in the world. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.